Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Joy News Today. We are coming to you live from our studio here at Kokomlemle. We are also on digital television, sir, because we are free to air. We are live on DSTV channel 421 and also on GoTV channel 144. We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Coming up, this 39-year-old Stephen Abuaje, whose 100,000 cedis remains locked up in the men's gold scandal, is set to get his sight back as philanthropist has today settled Stephen's surgery bill.
God should intervene, and then things that the doctor said that he will take the surgery, everything will be perfect for me, and then I will get my sight back.
Also, retired Army Captain Joel Kwame has described the silence of the Board of Trustees for the construction of the National Cathedral as a monumental disgrace to the Christian community in Ghana.
I said, Akufo-Addo, you are bringing God's name into disrepute.
This plus business and sports as well as showbiz making up this bulletin. Remember, we are streaming live on YouTube and all our social media handles. Tweet at us with the hashtag JoyNewsToday. My name is Samuel Kojo Brace. Stay with us for details. Retired Army Captain Joel Kwame has described the silence of the Board of Trustees for the construction of the National Cathedral as a monumental disgrace to the Christian community in Ghana. Speaking with Ado News' reporter Frank Yonato, the outspoken captain says if members of the Board of Trustees for the National Cathedral have anything left, they must consider resigning from it to save the name of the church in Ghana. Retired Army Captain Joel says the cathedral is not needed in the face of the dwindling economic fortunes of the country.
I said, Akufo-Addo, you are bringing God's name into disrepute. I said they should ask him. One, did he, when he went to God, he said he wants to be president, did he say, Lord, if you make me to be president, I will build a cathedral for you? So that is a matter between him and God. Or did you say, God, if you make me president, I will organize the people of this country to build a cathedral for you? That's another matter. Or three, God, when you make me president, I will tell Ghana people that they should build a cathedral for you. Which of these three is he talking about? Did we vote him into office to come and build a cathedral for us? Or did we vote him into office to make this country a better place for Ghanaians to be happy people?
You are angry.
I am. Because anybody who is trying to destroy the name or tarnish the name of God, I must be.
Captain had this advice for the leadership of the church that sat on the Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral.
Are suffering, and you say you are going to build a cathedral for God that you have not seen, a holy God, and contraband goods you are using for it, and you are using state money, the tax that we have paid to repair them. When you were coming, didn't you see the road?
It is estimated that the construction of the National Cathedral will cost over $300 million. Now, we moving on to other stories. According to the Chief Justice Kwesi Eninyebo, it is the legal system's proclaimed intention to bring justice to people's doorsteps. As a result, courts have been established in areas where none previously existed. When speaking on behalf of the Chief Justice at the commissioning of the Nadoli District Court supervising Wa High Court Judge, Justice Yusuf Asibe noted that the opening of the court will decrease the expense and arduous times that litigants in the district go through in their pursuit of justice. Rafiq Salam, a regional correspondent for Joy News in the Upper West region, fathers report from Nadoli.
The Local Government Act of 2016, Act 936, enjoins all metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies to exercise deliberative, legislative, and executive functions to ensure ready access of citizens to courts for the promotion of justice. However, many assemblies in the country are yet to fulfill that mandate. The Nadole Keleo district, created some 34 years ago, is one of such assemblies that was without a court, and litigants had to travel several dozens of kilometers to seek justice. Concerned about the plight of the people, the Nadole Keleo District Assembly constructed this magnificent edifice for use as a court by the Nadole Magistrate. Representing the Chief Justice of Ghana, Justice Kwesi Enimiabua, for his commissioning was the Supervising High Court Judge, Justice Yusuf Asibe, who stated that having a court at Nadole is in line with the above judicial service goal of bringing justice to the doorstep of the people. Justice Yusuf Asibe then outlined the cases they will have jurisdiction over.
Citizens of this community and surrounding areas can now come and seek justice over all manner of cases and issues. People can now come to court and litigate in civil matters like land disputes. The court will have criminal jurisdiction in matters like stealing. The court will have juvenile and family tribunal where matters involving juveniles, marital and maintenance issues could be settled. Members of this community can come and celebrate their marriage. Citizens of this assembly who fail to pay their fees, property rates, who fail to observe the sanitary and other bylaws of the assembly could be brought to court for the law to deal with them.
Upper West Region Minister Dr. Hafiz bin Sali admonished litigants to seek justice from the magistrate and not to try to bribe him.
I want to also appeal to the good people of Nadole Kelulu who will be patronizing the services of this court, not to try to bribe or influence any judge or staff of the court in any form. The people of this area must not engage in needless litigation because of the presence of this court in the area.
Before the court has its first sitting, Senior State Attorney at the Office of the Attorney General's Department, Lawyer Saeed Abdul Shakur, is already talking about the benefit the people will derive from it.
Almost all indictable cases are either sent to Jirapa or to Wa, because indictment starts at the district court. And when there is no district court, if there is any offense here that is triable on indictment, we have to go to either Wa or Jirapa. And this will save us a lot of trouble. Now we can come to Nadole Court and start the committal process in court. There are either, let me say, minor offenses, misdemeanors that can easily be tried by this court, but oftentimes they are sent to Wa or to Jirapa. Now all of that will be tried here.
The onus for delivering justice at the court now rests on the bosom of the Jiriba District Magistrate, His Worship Baba Isaku Idi, who has been given additional role to take charge of the court. Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam, Nadole.
And the Ghana Prison Service project 40% reduction in population after the passage of community sentencing bill. The Ghana Prison Service is envisaging a 40% reduction in prison population after the passage of that bill into law. Now, statistics from the Kumasi Central Prison shows 61% of admissions were, as at May 2022, were inmates convicted of misdemeanor offences. Assistant Head of Criminal Records Office of the Kumasi Prisons, Superintendent Francis Appel, explains decongesting the prisons will promote the reformation and restoration of prisoners. Nanaya Ojima was at a sensitization workshop on community service sentencing and has come through with this report.
There are currently 44 prisons with installed capacity of 9,945 across the country. As at June this year, the prison population stood at 14,622 with 12.5% of inmates on remand. Presently, the Kumasi Central Prison and Nsawam Male Prisons have exceeded their capacities by a total of 3,738 persons. Superintendent Francis Apel explains the present conditions makes reformation and rehabilitation of inmates impossible.
When you are coupled with an overcrowded facility, you spend a lot of resources. You spend almost all your entire resources feeding them, giving them sound place, a decent place to sleep, fortifying your walls, ensuring that cracks and doors are fixed to prevent escape. And that is our challenge when you are faced with overcrowding. You always spend all your resources maintaining the facility to prevent escape. Less resources are devoted to reformation and rehabilitation.
In 2021, 63.2% of convicts in the Kumasi Central prisons were given sentences less than 2 years imprisonment. In 2020 and 2019, persons convicted of misdemeanor formed 64 and 62% of prison population respectively. A proposed bill on community service sentencing is expected to deal with misdemeanor offences with communal sentences to decrease prison population. The Ministry of Interior, with support of stakeholders, initiated the process in 2014. The Commonwealth Human Rights Initiative, under the USAID Justice Sector Support Activity, assisted the ministry to organize a technical working group workshop on the draft bill to address issues raised by the Attorney General on the bill. The bill has since been forwarded to the Attorney General's office for advice. Mina Mensah is director for CHRI Africa Office, advocates for the bill.
In fact, the courts themselves would give you a fine for a minor offense because they admit that you are not a non-violent offender and that you don't necessarily have to be incarcerated. Unfortunately, the alternative is to give you a fine. Most people who find themselves committing such offenses cannot even afford the fine. So invariably, you go back to jail because that is the alternative. You either pay the fine or you are sentenced to custodial term.
Superintendent Apel is optimistic of the impact of the passage of the bill.
These people have committed a misdemeanor or offenses that are not really hardened. And these are the target that the community sentencing falls in. So these are the people that we think that when the bill is passed, it will reduce the intake.
For Joy News, Nana Ojima, Kumasi.
Now, days after torrential rains battered most parts of the western region, some communities are still filled with water, forcing some residents out of their homes. Correspondent Inathalia Konsa has been to the Akango community, one of the affected villages in the Inzima East municipality of the western region, where residents are still paddling canoes to get in and out of the community.
For years, residents of Akango and its adjoining communities have been battling perennial flooding at the peak of the raining season. This year has not been exceptional. A kilometer of the road is still underwater. I am told the situation is worse with other communities in this municipality. Some residents shared with me what they say has been an annual ritual. They have made several complaints for help, but no avail.
5 days. Yentimin chakra yanko hanso aduane a yebedi so eden yemaye ti yebaye o se yetwawe yedu honso na moto san fire edu edwom honti.
It's been 5 days and we haven't been able to cross over. Food is also a problem. We go through hell for transportation. In and out, the fares cost us 4 cedis, which is 2 cedis each. For me, I would like it if they gave us a bridge. This happens every year. I've been here for long. I'm from the village near Isiama. Last year, it didn't happen. It just did once a while. But this year, it has happened.
Afe ba kono de abiansi ewo ma na abia besi ewo ma na afe ba kono de ansi e na fe we na sansie.
From here is a town called Dwale. They are even worse off. The kids there have not been to school the whole of this week. Even I was almost attacked. So if you can pass by and see if you can help out, it will help a lot.
As bad as the situation is, others are also making fortune out of the situation. Maxwell and his friends here are owners of these canoes, are cashing by transporting people in and out of the flooded area.
Okay, my friend said, and time system, yeah, my friend said the last time I see 4 years in it. Until I do sometime, Santa Craya, you tell me. But we didn't and I like I said, sooner at the Bible, so count, say, crown, I am a baby, 2009, and also Sweden, and baby, a drink there. It's a way cry, wait there, and kept to a one. Oh, and Sunday, I said, you had a opportunity, the advance of us, and there. Maybe I've answered more canon if I could be a 2 cities. Nebu was a far motto, Sima Yokadano, and the 20 cities. And in the Panacana said, my best at 10 and 15 cities, and I said, no, baby, I went there, I went to Rabba. I had ye. But you don't got to be a so so say you consider because I see a sea in a kind account on account to say the painful Sikano. Tina, your bread.
Assembly member for the area, Aswa Beni, says they have lost hope as they have continuously engaged stakeholders on their predicaments but have not seen any action to help mitigate the flooding.
Oh, it hasn't been easy. Well, the road came here around 1989. And then since the completion, we've been complaining to Adamus, we've complained to Regent District, but there hasn't been any effort to the whatever we are asking them. Even recently, about 4 months ago, we went to Regent. They came to take design from main Takwa Road to Duale. Looking at by the close of the year, maybe something possible will happen. As at now, there hasn't been any development. Okay.
Now, today is the day the Ghana Journalists Association across the length and breadth of Ghana are voting to elect the next batch of executives for the association. Throughout Ghana, the voting has already started and is ongoing. In Accra, one of the centers is the Accra International Press Center, where my colleague Manuel Kranting is joining us with the latest from there. Manuel, what can you tell us is happening at the ZAR? Manuel, can you give us an update as to what is happening now? In the morning we spoke to you, election had started. Between then and now, anything that has changed?
Yes, of course, Kojo, quite a number of things have changed. Of course, quite prominently is the number of people who have cast their ballot. At the time we spoke earlier in the day, were just a little over 60 people having cast their ballots. That number has increased quite significantly. We'll be getting you updates from the presiding officer here. What we've also noticed in just the past couple of hours as we've been here is that some people have come here and have been turned away because their names were not found in the voters register. A prominent name that, if you like, a face that we know who was turned away is Dr. Randy Abbey of Good Morning Ghana fame. He came here and could not find his name in the voters register. He had to be turned away. It's a good time to bring in the presiding officer at this particular polling center for updates on why that is happening. Grateful you spoke to us earlier in the morning and told us that just a little over 60 people had cast their ballot. Is there an update on the number?
Yes, now I think we have about 19 and counting.
Out of the 324 people expected to cast their ballot.
90 and counting.
But we know also that you've had reason to turn some of the people away from here. What has been the reason for that?
Basically, the rule is once your name cannot be identified in the register, then you cannot cast your vote. The update that I have been given is that the list as we have here was published in the newspapers, precisely I think Graphic and the New Times. And I'm sure those who came and couldn't find their names, probably they didn't cross-check with the final list. Because I've been told that there were 1 or 2 issues with the earlier list that was published. But the election committee just told me that some of the names were, after it was republished, some of the names got out. And that one I cannot explain how that one happened. Because we did not compile the list. As there was an election committee that was formed, we came in, but as to how the name got out of the list, I can't explain.
Quite mysterious. When did you receive this final voters register list?
I think, I was calling to preside over the election now. Okay. So some of the things had happened earlier with our national. So I will not be able to tell you exactly how come some of the names have been taken out.
So that's the presiding member for this particular polling center, the International Press Center. Grateful that you could speak to us. We've been putting the question to the outgone president of the association, Mr. Roland Afeomoni, who tells us and admits quite openly that, well, this entire process is not as perfect as you would like and hope for it to be, except that people would have to bear with them. And it's, a process that is going through. But of course, Ernest Menu just cast his ballot. You've gone through the process, Ernest. It must have been a really smooth process for you.
It was very smooth. It didn't take me more than 2 minutes to go through, the process, 4 booths and all. But within 2 minutes, I was done. And yeah. So,
and that must definitely mean that you found your name in the register.
Yes, I did. I noticed that the multimedia list was consistent with what was published. But I do hope that, for the rest of my colleagues who come, they wouldn't have difficulties here.
And I think one major thing which would be crucial for a lot of your colleagues and my colleagues would be the impact of this new crop of executives on the association and its members in entirety. In the past 2 years, there's not been, if you like, a legitimate voice that you would pinpoint and say this voice is speaking for journalists. This must be quite important for you.
Beyond the legitimacy of the voices, it's more important, the issue of having a robust institution that will defend journalism and journalists and also be that, active voice in the national discourse is very important. And so today we hope to charter a new path for journalism in the country. And let's see how it pans out at the end of the day.
And that's it for Ernest Menu, and really for a lot more of the people who have come here to cast their ballots that I have spoken to. It's a breaking of a new dawn for them, and that at least they get a robust voice to speak up for them. So you just heard, and there are indeed more people going through the process of casting their ballot. So Kojo, just by way of information, the process is still moving on here despite the few hitches of names not being found in the voters register. For now, that's what we can report from here at the International Press Center.
Moving on to other stories. So that's Manuel Kranting, who is at the press center there. Let's see by the end of the day who is winning what in the GJA. But moving on to another impactful story. His 100,000 cedis remains locked up in the men's goods scandal. But his biggest hope was to get his sight back. The story of 39-year-old Stephen Abuaje featured in Joy News' Total Recall documentary, Eyes on Men's Gold. Now, a philanthropist who heard the story has today settled Stephen's surgery bill, as well as giving him a handsome amount for upkeep. Producer of the documentary, Joseph Akable, reports.
As soon as they've seen the sickness that is happening, even if the money is there, like they continue doing the surgery quick, it's a chance that I will get the eye back again. But as for the delaying and stuff, even that last week that I went there, he was telling me the delaying and stuff, I should pray to God that it's 50-50. anything better can happen. So we should pray to God and then get the money and come. So that is my prayers every day. I'm saying that people will see me through and then the eye will be seeing again. If even the eye is there, I will not follow this money cry. I will start something again because I'm a forceful person. I always force myself to get something for my family.
That was Stephen's hope. He was part of aggrieved Men's Gold customers featured in the documentary. Sometime in January 2020, he was part of a number of customers who pitched camp at the residence of Men's Gold founder Nana Pia Mensah. It was a protest to demand payment of locked up funds.
So as I'm running and then I fell on the rough road. So as soon as I fell, I wake up and then the police grab me and then they put us in the car. So as we are going, I feel headache, heavy headache on my head. So as I came out, I decided to buy medicine myself and then take it. So as I take the medicine, still, I always receive severe pains. So if sometimes I'm walking on the side, I need to put a cap on the head. So there's a time I was sitting down at town. So I see if the person is coming to pass on my face or something, I see the person as like he has burned something. I say, what is happening to me? So I decided to go to hospital and then the doctor confirmed that I'm having an eye problem on the eye because of the fall that I fall. There is a problem, so I need to do something about it early. And then the surgery came in and then I couldn't make money because there is no money anywhere for me to go and find and do it. Then that I'm still there waiting for something better to come and then see what God will do.
24 hours after the documentary aired, a philanthropist who wants to remain anonymous got in touch. On Friday, Stephen's surgery bills were settled in full. He was also given the same amount of money for his upkeep and drugs as he prepares to have the surgery in August.
I feel very, very excited, and I couldn't expect it, but you've made a great job for me. And what I would say is God bless the person who has helped me a lot. God bless you too as well. And my family, thank you so much for what you have done for me. I'm very, very excited today. I don't know what to say. I'm very, very happy. That is all I can say for now. My expectation is God should intervene and then things that the doctor said that he will take the surgery, everything will be perfect for me. And then I will gain my sight back again. That's my prayer that I'm coming to pray that God should intervene into it. Then everything will be perfect for me.
Impactful journalism is what we do here at Joy News, your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll bring you the latest in business. Stay with us.
Hello and welcome. Let's do business now with me, Beverly Broom. The National Insurance Commission is embarking on measures to significantly reduce undercutting and ensure fair treatment of consumers. This comes after it warned insurance companies to refrain from undercutting since it is impeding the growth of the industry. Speaking at the opening of the Wager branch of Imperial General Insurance, Head of Core Supervision Rita Apau said the practice has eroded clients' confidence in the insurance industry.
The National Insurance Commission has consistently expressed unhappiness about the unlawful practice of undercutting, which is due to competition among players in the insurance industry. Already, public confidence of insurance is very low. Head of Core Supervision at NIC Rita Apau says the Commission is bent on reducing the canker. He therefore urged Imperial General Insurance to adhere to industry practices.
To safeguard the interest of policyholders and ensure the safety and soundness of the industry, the Commission is actively embarking on measures to significantly reduce undercutting and ensure the fair treatment of customers. And by so doing, as we all know, we introduced the motor insurance database. And with this, the Commission is determined to enforce compliance with the set market motor rates and also actively enforce strict compliance with the No Premium, No Cover directive. Also, the Commission, in line with enhancing market conduct supervision, is enforcing the claims guidelines, which provides general timelines for the timely settlement of genuine claims. I count on Imperial General as a whole, and this particular branch, to endeavor to do the right thing in both respects.
Meanwhile, Imperial General Assurance has met the new minimum capital requirement of 50 million cedis set by the National Insurance Commission. This new capital, Managing Director of Imperial General Insurance Robert Wuga said, has positioned his outfit to expand its operations to serve the needs of the insuring public.
Imperial General Assurance has met the new minimum capital requirement of 50 million cedis set by the National Insurance Commission. This new capital injection into the company has positioned us to expand our operations across the country to serve the needs of the insuring public. The opening of the Weja branch of Imperial General Assurance forms part of our strategic plan to set up new branches in other locations across the country in order to bring our products and services to the doorsteps of our existing and potential clients.
In the name of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Amen. Again, I want to anoint the entrance. You have permitted. I believe in the good Lord.
The economic challenges of Africa need a swift and innovative approach to avert hunger on the continent. This will require institutions like the African Trade Insurance Agency to implement measures that would fast-track an effective transformation. Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said this when he addressed the opening ceremony at the 22nd Annual General Meeting of the agency in Accra. Here's a report.
The 22nd Annual General Meeting of the shareholders and investors of the African Trade Insurance Agency is being attended by finance ministers and economists who play a key role on the continent's economic development. Serving as a risk-taking body for the continent in the past 20 years, the agency supports countries through interventions that ensure adequate financing for capital investment projects. Speaking at the opening ceremony of the meeting, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia stressed the need for a swift action to avert the looming crisis on the continent due to ongoing geopolitical issues.
Let me use this opportunity to urge ATI to be innovative and swift in delivering more of its solutions across the African continent to promote economic transformation. The uncertainty in the general macroeconomic environment and the pressures on all government budgets do not only indicate how delicate and unpredictable the world we live in now is, but also sound the need to continually come up with potential and innovative development ideas for sustainable growth, particularly in Africa. Africa must take charge of its own economic growth.
Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta remarked that Ghana has enjoyed many benefits from the agency, hence government commitment to the cost of the institution.
So far, I'm encouraged by the progress ATI has made here in Ghana since launching its Ghana operations in February 2020. The institution has been instrumental in enhancing our health sector capacity and quality, and also looking at government to see how best we can ensure that the papers we put in the market have the correct coverage. Additionally, ATI has offered targeted support towards addressing the balance of payment challenges and supporting our local currency. For us in government, we intend to continue our discussions with ATI on other transactions that support the achievement of objectives within Ghana's agenda.
The agency is using the meeting to assess its performance for last year and plan for the years ahead.
Your business for now, but we have more business news when you log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Up next is sports.
Abdullah here with the sports on Joy News today. Parliament Select Committee on Youth and Sports investigating Ghana's poor showing at the 2021 African Cup of Nations in Cameroon has described its meeting Black Stars captain Andrea Yu as cordial. According to ranking member of the committee, Kwabena Mensah Woyome, the meeting was very helpful.
Cordial meeting between the committee and the Black Star captain. It was actually a follow-up on the request by the Speaker of Parliament after I presented a statement on the floor of Parliament with regards to the outcome of the Cameroon, should I say, the AFCON. So that we have been at it for a while now. So we met with every stakeholder. And today happened to be his turn, so he came. Said that a report that needed to be done properly, it's all about how best we get our industry going. It's not about any witch hunting. It's about probably getting something that will feed into policy and help build a strong, more formidable industry going forward.
Kotoku Royals must improve their infrastructure if the club wants to host Premier League matches at the Odan Stadium. The current state of their stadium only satisfied that of Division 1 competition. But club president Linford Asamoah is confident they will meet the requirement. There's more in this report by my colleague Asari Bidiakon.
Achim Odara, a hilly town in the eastern region of Ghana, is the capital of the Kotoku traditional area. Agriculture, mining and tourism are the main economic drivers of the home of Kotoku Royals, newcomers in the Ghana Premier League. The town's passion for football is immeasurable, and its ageless dream of producing a Premier League club has become a reality. Residents cannot wait to throng the Odan Sports Stadium, which was constructed in the 1960s. Kotoku Royals are working round the clock to ensure the stadium meets GFA club licensing requirements before the start of the new season in September. Linford Asamoah is president of the club.
There are a lot of things in our facility here that we need to improve up. The inner perimeter needs to be improved. Field itself needs to be improved. The goalposts need to be changed. The dressing rooms and the administrative block need to be renovated. The tunnel from the dressing room to the field need to be renovated and fully completed. We need to have stands. We have to create a media center. And also we have to ensure that sanitary facilities are always here, making sure that everybody will be fine. We have to create access for ambulance so that if in case of emergency, then it can have a free access to move the person. We have to do a lot of things to make this place complete. But we are confident that after ascertaining the facts of what we have to do, we will fully accomplish that project for the start of the season.
Linford Asamoah has stressed the need for Kotoku Royals to play their Premier League home games at the Odan Sports Stadium.
That's your sports for now, but we do have more sports stories on myjoyonline.com.
It's always a pleasure bringing you showbiz here on Joy News Today. Now, gospel musician Joe Mettle says he will never accept a deal with any betting company, although he admits the gospel music industry needs investments. Joe Mettle says there are limits to the kind of deals he will accept in his work as a gospel musician.
If you are approached by a betting company,
will I do it? Oh, no, definitely no. I mean, so this is the thing,
You won't even ask your followers, just as Celestine asked.
No. It's not even about
so now people are asking her to go for it.
I wouldn't even ask anyone. It's a no. It's a straight no for me. So you need to know, and this is my personal. You need to know where to draw the lines. You need to know where you really stand and what will work, what would not work for you. Like I said, I'm first a minister of God before I am a musician. I happen to be a minister of God who is gifted with the gift, the ability to sing. And so my first assignment is to my service to God. And so he expects certain things as well from me. And so that comes, and then the talent or how I use the talent also just follows. But they are not separated. They are together. There's been many, and I have even said it several times about maybe sponsorships and other things. Sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't. We wish sometimes it will come more, but it doesn't. But you see, one of the things I've realized is, despite all that, each time that something needs to be done, God in his own way makes a way. Like, I don't know how, But let's say the event we're doing, for instance, if you look at on my flyers, you'd realize we don't even have one major company doing anything. It's probably
That's shameful.
It's mainly like one's doing stuff for us. So maybe we need something. This company will say we'll provide it. We need, which I realize even over time, it actually does part of the work. But you would have individuals who say, "Oh, Joe, it's saying, Yamin Shao, how are things going? Okay, I just sent you something small. It's just my little support to what you are doing." And
This is $7,000.
No, random. Oh, if it was 7, I wanted. By God's grace, that's what I'm saying. It's relationships.
Joe, so like Kadosh, Kadosh is happening on Sunday. So if a betting company comes on board to give you, let's say 10,000.
No,
hold on. They are not asking you to be a brand ambassador. This is from God. We are God's children. People come stake bet where we get some small.
So we won't give you.
So you to take this.
So as we
because we pay tithes.
Okay, you see, as we speak now, you are assuming.
I'm not.
No, I'm saying you're assuming in the sense that they will give.
As we speak now, they are listening, so it's likely they will come.
Okay, it's a company.
Yes.
There's no way they will give you that money and not ask.
Don't say that. They are also God's children.
No, I'm not. I'm saying it's a company. I didn't say it's a bad. I just said it's a company. No company will give you without asking anything in return. They will have to account for it.
On that note, we end Showbiz here on Joy News today. My name is Becky. Over to you, Brace.
And that's how we wrap up today's edition of Joy News today. There's more news at myjoyonline.com. My name is Samuel Kojo Brace, and it's always a pleasure having Becky around you. Have a pleasant afternoon. Marketplace is up next.